bright future. Every student matters.
Hello students, in this lecture we will be discussing the important questions for the first topic of the sixth chapter. So the first question is, define combustion. Combustion is the chemical process in which a substance reacts with oxygen to give off heat. This is a 1-mark question. You have to mention the definition as well as any random example. For example, burning of magnesium ribbon can be an example for combustion. Second question, what happens when magnesium ribbon is burnt in air? When magnesium ribbon is burnt in air, it reacts with the aerial oxygen very vigorously, producing a dazzling white flame and magnesium oxide as the product, which is a powder, white powder. Next question, what is the essential condition for combustion? Explain with the help of an activity. Basically, for combustion, supply of air or oxygen gas is essential, and this can be explained with the help of an activity. The activity is the candle activity. Right, so this is again a 3-mark question. Half mark for the condition, the essential condition that you mentioned, and 2.5 marks for the activity that we have already discussed in the lecture. Fourth question, define ignition temperature. Explain it with the help of an activity. Ignition temperature is the minimum temperature required by any substance to catch fire. Right? So 1 mark for the definition, 2 marks for the activity. And ignition temperature, the example can be a matchstick. Right? Fifth question, how does the matchstick burn? Now this is a lengthy answer for this question. When the match is struck against the rubbing surface, some red phosphorus gets converted into the white phosphorus which is present on the box. Right? This is the red phosphorus which is converted into white phosphorus. Then this immediately reacts with the potassium chlorate present in the matchstick's head to produce enough heat to ignite antimony trisulfide and start the combustion. So this is the complete answer. This is a 3-mark question and you have to give the complete explanation. Last question for this topic is, what are inflammable substances? Inflammable substances are those substances which have very low ignition temperature and can easily catch fire with the flame. These substances are known as inflammable substances. So these were the important questions for the first topic. Thank you for your attention, students. How does water stop a substance from burning? So the answer for this question is that water cools down the combustible material so that its temperature is brought below its ignition temperature. Right? This prevents the fire from spreading. Water vapors also surround the combustible material, helping in cutting off the supply of air. So this is the explanation for a 3-mark question. Right? Next question is, what are the necessary conditions for a fire? So the necessary conditions are fuel. Fuel is the substance that is on fire. It can be an entire building as well. Air to supply oxygen and heat to reach the ignition temperature, which is the minimum temperature required for a substance to catch fire. These are the 3 necessary conditions, and the job of a fire extinguisher is to cut off the supply of air or to bring down the temperature of the fuel or both. Right? So these are the necessary conditions. Third question, water cannot be used in all cases to put out fire. Why? We cannot use water in all the cases. The two cases in which we cannot use water are electrical equipments and oil and petrol. If we use water to put out the fire of electrical equipments, you can easily catch an electric shock. So to prevent that, water is not used in these cases. And for oil and petrol, oil and water basically do not mix. So to put out fire which is oil related, we cannot use water as well, right? So in these cases, water cannot be used. Now fourth question, carbon dioxide is used as a fire extinguisher. Why? This is a 3-mark question. You have to provide full detail for this answer. The answer can be, it is heavier than oxygen and hence it covers the fire like a blanket, right? It does not harm electrical equipment. When released from the cylinder, carbon dioxide expands in volume and cools down, which brings down the temperature of the fuel. Basically, it cannot reach the ignition temperature and hence the fire is put out. The release of a lot of dry powder of chemicals like sodium bicarbonate, baking soda or potassium bicarbonate can also be used because they also ultimately produce carbon dioxide only. What are the different types of combustion? There are 3 different types of combustion. First one is rapid, second is spontaneous, and third is explosion. So when this question comes, this is a 3-mark question and can also be asked as a 1-mark question in which you will only name the kinds of combustion. If it is a 3-mark question, you will provide the definitions of all the 3. Second question, what kind of combustion takes place during forest fires? Forest fires are an example of spontaneous combustion because they do not require anything. Any man activity or natural activity is not required for the forest fires because they start on their own spontaneously. The type of combustion in which material suddenly bursts into flames without the application of any apparent cause is called as spontaneous combustion, and forest fires are basically a kind of spontaneous combustion. Third question, burning of a matchstick is an example of dash combustion. This is a 1-mark question, fill in the blanks. So this can also come as an MCQ, A, B, C and D. D can be none of the above. First is spontaneous, second is rapid, third is explosion. So the correct answer out of all the 4 options is B, which basically is that burning of a matchstick is an example of rapid combustion. Alright, so these were the important questions for the third topic. Thank you for your attention, students.